Hello everyone, my name is Brianna Beal and I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service in Grant Junction, Colorado. And this is your spring 2022 seasonal climate summary. So as of May 31st, the season of spring, meteorological spring, concluded, and meteorological spring runs from March 1st through May 31st. So recapping our stories of the month, for March, we had the late March record heat. We had a little bit of a hot spell at the very, very end of the month, where we set some new records. Although, of course, as characterized much of this meteorological spring, March was a roller coaster of the month, and it tended to swing between warm, dry, and breezy conditions and colder and wetter conditions. And so the end of the month, we saw a period of record-setting heat, and we had several sites set some new record temperatures, and in some places by quite a bit. In Grand Junction, we set a record of 78, which broke the record of 77 set in 1988. In Taylor Park, we reached 57, which broke the record of 54, which was set in 2015. And then again in Roosevelt Radio, we hit 79, which broke the old record of 72, also set in 2015. As far as April was concerned, we had some mid-April wild weather. Again, this spring was very much a roller coaster of conditions. One of the wilder storms that we saw in April occurred between the 10th and the 13th, which, as characterized many of these storms, began with strong gusty southwest winds that led to several wind advisories, high wind warnings. There may have also been some critical fire weather conditions depending on where fuels were susceptible. And then following that, we saw 6 to 12 inches of accumulating snow up in the mountains. And we also saw the first freeze of the spring as a strong cold front pushed through. So it really was kind of just a little bit of everything all in one go. And then for for May, yet again, this wild weather we have fire and ice, where we saw a day where, actually several days in fact, where we would have warm, dry, windy, red flag conditions across the area one day, or perhaps even part of a day, followed by colder, wetter conditions and saw mountain snow. So this one specifically was from May 19th, but this happened several times over the course of the month of May. As far as our spring 2022 high temperatures, our highest high was 92 degrees, which occurred in Canyonlands on the 27th, and our lowest high degree of May, our lowest high degree temperature, was 78 in Aspen on the 27th. As far as the low temperatures for spring, our coldest low occurred on March 11th in Craig, and that was negative 23 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a very cold spring in Craig. And our warmest, coldest temperature occurred in Cortez on both the 11th, 19th, and on the 23rd, and that was 16 degrees Fahrenheit. As far as precipitation, overall for the season, we did come in below normal with 9 of our 10 automated stations ending the season with below normal precipitation amounts. The big winner here was Meeker, which came in at just under 5 inches of precipitation for the season and was a quarter of an inch above normal. And at the bottom here, we have Canyonlands, who came in with just over 0.8 of an inch, and that was about half of what they should have gotten to be average for the season. Looking at the summer drought outlook, we are generally looking at drought persisting, with the areas along the divide that have kind of seen some improvement in conditions expected to see drought redevelopment. As far as the summer seasonal outlook, we are seeing a strong trend towards above normal temperatures over the entirety of the Four Corners area and up into portions of Wyoming and Idaho. And then as far as our precipitation outlook, we are seeing sort of the northern half of eastern Utah and western Colorado trending slightly towards below normal precipitation, while the Four Corners area is looking at equal chances of above or below normal precipitation, and likely this has to do with the potential for monsoonal moisture. And that's it for your seasonal outlook. Stay tuned for the summer seasonal outlook once we finish meteorological summer in August. Have a good day, everybody.